Okay, we are officially recording for April's leadership call. I take it off.
All right, so this call is solely focused not on how to sponsor. We're not going to talk about how to sponsor. We're going to talk about the steps after you sponsor that person. How do you onboard that person? How do you coach them? How do you train them to shooting star, to certified, to sensational star? Those sort of things. I didn't do it the first 2 years of my business. Now I can say like that wasn't a total failure. All my directors, my frontline directors, I have never coached one-on-one. I never onboarded them. They were very, very self-sufficient and figured it out. And I was kind of like, look, if you need anything, I'm here. Like, just let me know if you need anything. Like, I had no system to train them. I was just like, figure it out, because I was that way. I didn't have a sponsor coach me. I didn't have a sponsor train me. I didn't have a first things first checklist when I joined. I didn't have a 10 series video. Hell, everybody that ever ordered from me, I gave them my PWS link. I didn't even know they could get free shipping. So I didn't even get rewards for like the first 2 months because I didn't know to attach orders to party. You know, I didn't know. I didn't have anybody teach me these things. I didn't have videos to help me, or training series, or guide to growth, boss bay basics, whatever. I didn't know anything. I'm saying PPR, I didn't know. I didn't know what the perpetual party reward was. I did not know. It was a train wreck. But what I can say was, because I wanted it, because I had a goal, I figured it the frick out. So I automatically assumed when I started sponsoring that people were going to be like me, that they would figure it out. And if they needed me, I was there to answer questions. Over time, I realized some people will sink, some people will swim. And I say that with all love in my heart. Some people, you can give them everything in the world and they just don't do nothing. They just don't do nothing. Other people, you don't give them anything, and they do it themselves. Like, they figure it out. Those are the kind of people that are very, very rare, and you have to go through quantity to get quality. So, meaning 1 out of 10 people that you sponsor are going to be the go-getters. They're going to be the ones that want this business. They're going to be the self-sufficient leaders. I got it, I'll figure it out. I kind of know, just in my stewardship, I have over 120 frontline now. Out of those 120 frontline, I know when I see Stacey Edwards text me, when I see Ray text me, when I see Kayla Welke text me, I know that it's legit because they've done their research. They've looked it up for themselves. They've kind of been self-sufficient. Those people are far and in between. 1 out of 10, right? I have 10 frontline directors. I have 120 frontline. So 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. You're going to sponsor more people that don't want this business than you will people that do want this business. How do you figure out that from the get-go? Is by onboarding them in the way that you onboarded them. So, like I said, from the get-go, it was, here's my phone number. If you need anything, let me know. And if you didn't let me know, I just assumed you were okay. If you didn't tell me you were struggling, I just assumed you were fine. Like, that's just real talk. Now I onboard completely different, and I've switched it up several times. So probably 2 years ago, when I first left nursing, was when I started having an onboarding process. And my process included a super, super long email and then a super, super long booklet I would mail to them. And they still wouldn't do anything. And I'm like, look at my pretty booklet. Look at these pretty things that I done made and emailed and all this stuff. And it was overwhelming. It was a lot of information. Most people, and I am one of these people, if you come at me with 10 pages, I'm probably not going to read it all. If you send me super long text, probably not going to read it all. It's the squirrel in me, it's the ADD in me. I get very very sidetracked very easily, very distracted very, very easily. So now I onboard completely different, and I got this from Chloe Cox. It's freaking genius. Doesn't mean that every person I recruit gets shooting star, hit certified. No, I still have people, and I'm gonna share share the system that I use with you guys. I still have people that will message me and ask me how to put an order in, or ask me how to do something. I'm like, you never read my email, did you? You didn't do the first things first checklist, did you? You didn't do all those things. So I can kind of decipher from the first week after I sponsor somebody new what kind of consultant they're going to be. I have somebody I sponsor on the 1st of March that finally is active, but will ask me questions that I know were in my onboarding system that she never completed. So I can kind of sense, like, are you in it? Now, I sponsored somebody earlier this week. She don't need nothing from me. She's like, girl, I don't watch your videos. I set up my launch party. I'm just waiting for my kit to get here because I have people that want to sniff the stuff. 2 totally different types of consultants onboarded the same exact way. I do not get on the phone with people anymore to coach them. I don't like it. I don't like to talk on the phone, period. I'll voice message you all day long, but I do not want to get on the phone with you. I just don't. I don't even want to talk to my husband on the phone. Real talk. I don't want to talk to nobody on the phone. Text me, voice message me. I don't want to get on the phone with you. But in that onboarding system that I use, it says once you complete my 10 video series that are on YouTube, don't feel like you have to do that right away. If you're on this call and you're like, I do not want to do YouTube videos right now, you don't have to do that right now. Ray has a startup system video. I have one. Chloe has one. There's many out there that you can use. Courtney Stewart has one. So however you want to do that. But I have in there, once you complete your first things first checklist, once you complete my entire onboarding system and you've watched the videos, my Calendly link is in there. So Calendly, it does cost a monthly fee. It's worth it. I do a monthly schedule for the entire month. It switches right now with everything going on with this pregnancy. They can schedule their own call with me. So I know after the first week, if they haven't scheduled a call, I'm not going to verbally train you, because that is the way that I train now. It's my onboarding system. The entire onboarding system that I use is in the leadership page, in the announcements, in the pin post. That is what I use. You can take it, you can copy and paste it, you can make it your own. Don't feel like you have to do that, but it's very, very simple. So, and I should have done screen share on this, but I didn't do this from my computer. I'm doing this from my phone. But you will see it when you pull it up. It's a graph. It's on one sheet. It's on one Microsoft Word sheet. And it's a checklist for them. So there's hyperlinks to everything. It says set up your launch party. Then it has a hyperlink. What is a launch party? What does that do? Like, it gives them access to everything that they need, but it's one. Okay, Ray's got hers up to share. It's one sheet. So they don't have to scramble. Everything is all together. It's not overwhelming with information. Has my business hours up there, because I can also tell, just real talk, y'all are leaders. If you have a team of 10, imagine having a team of 100, a team of 1,000, a team of 5,000. I don't want people messaging me after 3 o'clock. I love everybody, but I don't want people messaging me after 3 o'clock. That's when I kick into mom mode and wife mode, and that's when I detach. So I can tell if I have a new recruit that starts messaging me at 9, 10 o'clock at night. You didn't read it. And I'll keep referring them back. If they ask me questions, I'm like, oh, that's in my email, my welcome email. So as soon as they join, they get that email. Once I get their thing, that's their email that says, oh, you sponsored somebody new, I send them a welcome email. So I have it sent. I sent it to myself. So it is in my sent folder in my Gmail. So I can copy that email and send it to all my new recruits. I only send it to my frontline. I do not send it to everybody in my own team. Now, if you're a director, I do send everybody in my downline a welcome email, but it's not my onboarding system. That is up to the consultant to do that. And I promise you, it doesn't take long to set it up, but it will save you so much time in the long run. Because I remember 48, 72 hours after they joined, let's get on the phone. Then I would have my checklist. I'd go through the checklist and 2 hours would go by and there's no skin in the game. So what I'll say about this onboarding system is it makes them independent from the get-go, whether that's willingly or not. If they're not willing to be independent, I hate to say you wipe your hands clean, but you need to know where your focus needs to go. So if you're sponsoring 2-3 people a month, 2 people are ghosting you, asking you a million questions, not looking crap up for themselves, but you have 1 that is rocking it, your focus needs to go on the 1, because as you grow leaders, as you sponsor more people, as your team grows, as your group grows, there is only 1 of you. And you have to be very, very, very picky about your energy and about where your focus goes. So onboarding, this is simple, it's duplicatable. It is something that you can share with your team. So the 15th of every month, I send everybody in my group an email that's sponsored, and I include my onboarding system so that they can implement it. So it's up to them to implement it if they want to or not. I wish I would have done this earlier in my business, because I spent so much time wanting it for people that didn't want it for themselves. And I would flip out like, did you do your launch party? You haven't got that scheduled yet? What you doing? They would ghost me. I'm like, are they mad at me? Like, what's going on? This puts the ball in their court. Everything they need is in that email. It is up to them to do it, because at the end of the day, y'all, the only thing you need to be successful is your set of testers. Your consultant handbook tells you everything from the time you joined to superstar director to circle of excellence, tells you everything on how to earn it, on how to achieve those goals. I didn't have any of those things when I joined. I joined on a discounted kit. My kit didn't come with a new consultant handbook. They'll figure it out if they want it. So be very picky about where your energy goes from the get-go when you sponsor. Be very picky about holding hands. I know there's different opinions on this. I used to be one. I'm a hoverer. I'm like, you did it though, right? You did it? Did you watch that video? You sure you did it? Then I ask them like a random question, like a trick question, trying to see if they really did watch it or not. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is you shared the blessing, right, of this business with somebody. Your job is to make them an independent business owner. That is your job. Yes, cheering them on is wonderful as they're hitting their goals. That is wonderful. But at the end of the day, you want to build an independent business owner, showing them where to find their resources. Ultimately, when I sponsor now, I tell them, save my welcome email. That way, when you sponsor, you can send that to your new teammate. So the ball is in their court. It's very easy. I send it straight from my phone when I sponsor somebody, because I have it in my sent folder, and it's pinned in the announcement. So you can just make a copy of it, edit it with your information. Please, dear God, edit it with your information. I shared it with somebody months ago. No, Courtney, it wasn't you, but they didn't change their information, and I got a text, and it was not from my front line. So edit it with your information. If you don't, I'd strongly suggest sending them the startup videos. My YouTube channel has them, Chloe has them, Rayra has them, multiple leaders have them, because they can actually see it. So there's power in visual. If they can see you in your workstation, they can see you putting orders in. If they can hear your voice, you're kind of building a relationship from the get-go. So over time, I do recommend everybody doing their own videos, just so that they have a relationship with you, because they're joining under you. But if you don't have time for that right now, or you don't have energy for that, use somebody else's video series. That's what they're there for. Check it out in the announcements. See if it works for you. Switch it up to make it your own. You definitely don't have to do exactly like mine or exactly like Chloe's or exactly like Ray Ray. Switch it up if that doesn't work for you. But I've seen a lot of success. Does that mean every consultant I sponsor is a rock star? Just takes off running? No. It lets me know where my focus needs to go. It lets me know who do I need to focus on. If I have 2 new consultants right now, they're just, I haven't had time to watch it. And it's been a month and a half. And I'm like, well, if you don't have time, I don't have time, because it's your business. And, the end of the day, this is business. And you can love and care about people and say, this is business. Okay. Your time is precious too. I think that's all I got to say, Ray.
Okay, I was going to screen share.
Do it.
One thing that I have found been super helpful, especially as you grow. So I know Katie already said it, but your time is valuable. And yes, some of you might have, 5, 10 frontline. And I never really understood, okay, only work with the leaders that are working, until I started growing. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, now you have 30 frontline, 50 frontline, 60 frontline, and you're looking around like, okay, how am I supposed to give 50 people all of my time, plus my family, plus my friends, and plus focus on me, right? Plus you guys have lives other than Scentsy, right? Most of you work a full-time job, okay? I did for the first 2 years that I did Scentsy. And I never understood that until I started to see the actual growth. So I 100% believe, figure out who is actually producing and work with those people. I'm not saying forget about the other people, but just use your time wisely, okay? And that can be the hard part, and that's where pulling reports comes from. So once you start growing, I highly suggest doing this now, actually. It is a Google Drive. I never did a Google Drive until probably a year and a half ago. So I'm going to share my screen. Can y'all see that? Thumbs up? Yeah? Courtney, can you see that? I can only see you right now.
I can see it, Ray.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this is my personal Google Drive, okay? This is my Raise Leadership New Teenie Drive. Now, I haven't gone through this in a while and deleted anything that I'm not using, so there's some stuff in here that I don't necessarily use all the time, but one of the things I have in here is, this is the new frontline consultant checklist that Katie was just talking about. In case you guys have not seen this, this is in our leadership groups. You guys can download it, save it to your computer, then go in and edit it to fit you, okay? So go in, edit all the information to work for you. One of the things that let me move this, do not do. I tried the Calendly. It just didn't really work for me. I do still offer phone calls, but honestly, that's up to the consultant. Previously, I would say my last 5 recruits, I've gotten on the phone with maybe 3 of them, and that's because they wanted to get on the phone. I do offer it, but for the most part, we text back and forth, okay? So this is what it looks like. These are hyperlinks. Let me zoom in a little bit. These are hyperlinks, talks about first things first checklist. This is reinstatement letter if that applies to them. Make sure that they're on all of these. This might look a little bit different than Katie's. I felt that these 3 groups were super important to be in. I don't know if Katie has the tax group or a How I'm Working group, but I wanted these resources right there in front of their faces. So later on, they weren't asking me, oh, what about taxes, right? They're going to see Scentsy tax group and they're going to be like, okay, here's my cue to ask about taxes, so we can kind of get that down as soon as they join. These are my 13 startup videos. Katie already said it. Utilize what has already been created until you're ready to create your own YouTube, okay? Startup videos. One thing I will say is, try to make your startup videos as short as possible. I'm talking 5 minutes or less, okay? I tried so hard to keep mine super short. Some of them are like 7 minutes. I think one, maybe two of them are like 15 minutes. But I haven't watched them in a while, so honestly, I need to go back through them. It's been almost 2 years since I created them. I might go back and redo some of them so it's easier and shorter, but all of my videos together, let me admit Amy real quick. All of my videos together, I think it's less than an hour. Okay, so try to just keep it short because the longer they are, the less likely they are going to watch it. And I say that because I am a very, I'm going to look at something, and if it's this long to read, I'm not reading it. Okay, but if it's this long to read, I will read it. If it's short and concise, I will read it. But if I pull up a video and it's an hour long, your girl's most likely not watching it. I'm going to wing it until I figure it out, until I screw something up to where I have to go back to watch it. Whereas if I pulled it up and it was 3 to 5, 7 minutes long, I would have watched it from the start. Okay, that's just how my brain works. So that is what I took into consideration when I was doing this. And then, so Katie's right here, once completed with the above task. Hers says schedule a call with me. Mine says text me. Here's my phone number. They know how to reach me. Okay. And then down here is extra information. I need to go like this. Down here, I added a couple other things. So they have all these links that they can click on. Now, I did not email this to my new consultant. At this point, I already have their cell phone number. If they want me to email it to them, I will, but I am not an email person. Shocker, right? Because you guys receive shout out emails from me. So I literally go, see, I'm going to go up here. I come over here and I actually do it from my phone. And I text them this link directly to them. Now, if they ask me if I can email it to them, yes, I will. But I text it, then they, let me pause. I mean, not pause, mute. Oh, she got it. Okay. It's kind of hard sharing your screen. You can't see the rest of the Zoom. So I text it to them right then and there as soon as they join. Now, I can tell what kind of consultant they are going to be in the first 24 hours. I can tell. And I'm sure you guys can tell too. I can't see your comments, so I'm not ignoring you. And then the other thing that I have in here, if you guys, I just wanted to touch base on this and then I'll let Kelly speak. If you guys have not created templates for email shoutouts, I'm telling you, they are a total game changer. Literally every month, this is the email I send out to anyone that has sponsored, okay? I highlight it, copy it, go to the workstation, I go to my report that's already saved, I click everyone who has sponsored someone, and I send them this exact email. Sometimes I might change up a few words here or there, but for the majority of the time, I literally send this same exact email. It saves so much time, and it doesn't stress me out, okay? And I do it straight from my phone. I go to my Google Drive app, highlight this, go to my Sensi workstation on my phone, on Safari, and send it right then and there, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing. Let me see, did I have any questions? Oh, you see it. So that is how I personally work. If someone, I think Courtney asked it earlier, she said, okay, what if you've already sent, your startup videos, and then they ask you a question of something that you already covered in your startup videos? What I will do is, literally say, hey, you can find the answer here, and I will send them the exact video. It's actually happened a couple times with two of my two of my newest consultants. But I'm not mean about it or anything. I totally get that it's frustrating, but I do have to remember that, you know, most of these people that are joining, they have a lot of stuff going on. And so I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So all I do is I respond and say, hey, girl, you can find the answer here. And I send them the actual video to get that answer from my startup guide. So that is basically it. I will not get on the phone with them if they have not watched my startup videos and done the entire checklist, okay? But like I said, you can tell how successful a consultant is going to, not how successful they're going to be, but how fast they're going to hit the ground running in the first 24 hours, honestly. So, all right, Kelly, bring it home, girl.
Can y'all see me, hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna spotlight you.
Okay.
I gotta figure out, okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna have to minimize this so I don't see myself talking or move it somewhere. Okay, so for those of y'all that don't know me, my name's Kelly. I live in Mississippi in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I work 30 hours a week. I unmuted myself. I don't know what I did. I hit my keyboard. So I'm super busy. Your girl is the definition of I ain't got no time. Like, that's just me in a handbasket. I joined Cincy last May, so May 2020, and I promoted to lead consultant in the first month. I promoted to lead consultant in the first month, certified, hit shooting star, and then I ended up hitting sensational start level 2. Right now, I've got a front line of 12. Out of those 12, 9 have hit shooting star. One of them still in shooting star period. And pretty much anybody who's hit shooting stars has gotten certified. So your girl can help people get shooting star for some reason. So I'm a little bit different than Ray and Katie. Obviously, I haven't been around as long as they have, and I haven't gotten the same team size as they have right now. So where their teams are like in the hundreds, mine's still under 30. So it's a little bit different. But here's how I do things and what's worked for me and helped me have success. So from the very first start when they join, I do send them the email like Katie and Ray do with the same checklist. I edited it to myself. So I send them that and I'm like, hey girl, watch your email, I'm sending you something. So the only thing I focus on for their first 15 days, unless they hit it sooner, is shooting star. I don't mention sensational start. I don't mention getting certified. I don't mention the things because it overwhelms them. Because if you're like me, and a lot of new consultants are, you're busy. You don't want all this information thrown at you because you get overwhelmed and you're like, I can't do this. I quit. Can't do it. So literally only focus on shooting star for the first 15 days. I do send them the email so they do have resources to more. So if they want more, they can get more. So from the start, I encourage them to do their checklist and to check the email and do that. I do help them with their launch party. So if they're Facebook users, I do schedule their launch party for them. I use Send Share, schedules it in like 5 seconds. It's done. It's on there. I pump them up. So I do communicate one-on-one with my people more than Katie and Ray do. I don't just text them 24/7. I don't stay on their backs. I don't do any of those things. But I will, like, every day, every other day or whatever, I'll just send them a text message. Hey, girl. Or I'll just pump them up. Be like, girl, you got this. I'm so proud of you, whatever. I also highlight what they get with shooting star. Because, yeah, they watch a video and they should be able to get it. But honestly, if they've got information going everywhere. A lot of the people I sponsor are stay-at-home moms. They work full-time. Like, they've got a million things in their lives going on. So I highlight what they get. And for some reason, getting a charm and a charm bracelet will make them want to hit shooting star. They're like, yes, I want that bracelet. Let me get it. So that helps push them. And then, like I said, I just talk to them every day. So if they're making progress, I'll shout them out, be like, girl, you only got $100 left. What you doing? I want to know. And things like that. So if they hit shooting star, I move on to the next step. If not, I wait till the end of their 15 days And I just kind of send them reminders like, girl, you got 2 days left. We're going to do this. We got this. And then we push for certified. So I don't go straight to the sensational start. I want to get them certified after that. So they've hit shooting star. The next step is certified. So push them to certified. And the way I do this, if they hit shooting star, they normally hit certified pretty easy, especially in the same month. So most of the people who hit shooting star end up getting certified in the same month. And some of the ways I do this is I highlight how much of a difference it's going to make in their paycheck. I'm different than a lot of people. Money speaks to me. It just does. And knowing that if I sell $200 more this month, I'll get a $100 paycheck or a $125 paycheck versus a $75 paycheck, that tells me something. And it tells me, okay, I need to talk to some people. I also encourage them to get the shooting star kit and highlight the perks of it. So I joined under a $20 join special. I literally got nothing. I got a mini warmer and some, like, I think I got 15 wax testers and a couple of catalogs. That's all I got. I didn't have any product on hand. I have like one warmer my sister gave me for Christmas 5 years ago. So I talk about the kit and how it can benefit them. And I tell them, you're going to get paid off this. This is going to help you get to that next pay raise. If you buy this kit, not only are you going to make $40 off of it, but you're going to get to certified closer, which is the next pay raise. And then again, highlight the perks. I tell them what they're going to get if they get certified or whatever. And for certified, it's just pretty much the pay raise. After they get certified, that's when I move to sensational start. It's taking them longer to get certified. I might push sensational start more. But honestly, if they're not getting certified in their first month, they're probably not going to push that hard to get sensational start. They just probably don't want it. And that's okay. Everybody wants different things from their business. I've got hobbyists on my team. I've got people on my team who gave up the day after they got their kit. It happens. So when we start on sensational start, it's a lot easier if they've already got certified because they're only $500 away from the first level. I highlight what they're going to get. Charm bracelets. Everybody loves charm bracelets. And I tell them that they're going to get free product. So one of the biggest questions that I get from my new consultants is, how do I make samples? I can't afford to buy stuff to make samples. Well, first off, you got at least one wax bar in the kit. Use that to make some samples. But I also tell them, well, if you get sensational start, then yeah, highlight that charm bracelet, girl. It'll get you. They love it. They love it. I don't know why, but they love it. But the charms and the star warmer are the two biggest motivational factors for sensational start. I have a girl on my team, love her to death. She only buys from herself. She hit shooting star because she wanted the bracelet. She hit sensational start level 2 because she wanted the star warmer. After that, don't hardly hear nothing from her. That's okay. So that's what I push and promote on. I just highlight the perks, and their first 15 days, I do talk to them a lot more. I do talk to them almost every day in their first 15 days. After that, I back off and they come to me if they need me, and I send out emails. So some other things that I do, I send weekly emails, and I send these in 3 groups. I send a team email. This is where I do shout out, and I send a link to a YouTube video. It's a short YouTube video, like under 15-minute YouTube video, guys. I send Ray videos a lot. I send Katie Lassiter videos a lot. I've sent Chloe Cox, Jennifer Anderson. So I do my shout outs, and I'm like, okay, here's a link to a YouTube video. If you have time, watch it. I also send an email to my newbies. So anybody who's still in their sensational start period gets an email from me. It doesn't matter if I sponsored them or not. I go to my sensational start, save leadership report, click all of them, and I send them an email, and I just give them like a little word of encouragement, and I send them a YouTube video. Another short YouTube video. These are going to be more beginner videos. These are going to be stuff like making samples. I've even sent, even though I've already sent them the videos to Katie Lassiter's new consultant training thing, I sent them a link to one of those. So just something that can benefit a new person, because you are getting a lot of information thrown at you, and I do understand that. So I try to break it down and give them a little bit at a time, and I do this weekly. I also send an email to my leaders. So anybody who sponsored anybody, it doesn't matter if they're my frontline, downline, whoever, I just go to the group. Anybody who has more than one person on their team gets this video. Same thing, word of encouragement, and I'll send them a more detailed video. I'll tell you more about what I sent them in a second, Katie. Let me get through this real quick. So other things that I do for my teamies, I send at least 3 text messages a month for my front line. I don't do this. I don't go to my workstation tab and type out all these individual messages. I have them preset in Amy. I use the Amy app. I use it religiously. They're preset. So at the beginning of the month, they get a, hey girl, I'm so excited for April. What are your goals this month? Same every single month. The middle of the month, so I sent these out today. Hey girl, I cannot believe April's almost over. Do you have any questions? Do you need help with your business? Send them that. And then at the end of the month, or it's before the end of the month, it's like the last week of the month. Girl, the month's wrapping up. Do you need help with anything? How do you feel about the month? So that's what I do there. If they want more contact with me, they do reach out to me. I do ignore text messages. If it's something that I've already answered or I know they can easily find, I will wait until I get time the next day or want to look at my phone and I'll send them a response. I don't go out of my way to send answer questions that I know I've answered or that are easily found. And if it is an answer that's easily found, I tell them where to find it. So if they ask me, how do I place an order on the workstation? How do I close a party? I don't say, okay, well, here's how you do it. And I'm going to get on FaceTime and I'm going to walk you step by step. Did that with my first consultant, which was great because I was 2 weeks old and I barely knew what I was doing. But I'll say, look up Katie Lassiter on YouTube and go to her new consultant videos. Look up Ray Ray on YouTube, go to her new consultant videos. Or I'll say, type this in the search bar of the workstation. It's in the group, look under this tab. Because in my team page, I have topics. So I have like a new consultant one, PRV boosters, parties, stuff like that. So if it's a question about my sales are low, I need some help getting PRV, I say, go to PRV boosters. So like I have a question about compliance, click on compliance, search compliance. I don't give it to them, but I tell them where to find it. If I'm just on the Facebook page, I might tag them in it. Other than that, in my team page, I do shout outs for my frontline and I shout out myself. So I don't have somebody that shouts me out. I haven't talked to my sponsor since November. My director never had anything to do with this hardly. Like I don't have anybody shouting me out. And if you're a director or if you have your own team page, the person that would shout you out is not there. And your team will not know that you're working. They won't know that you're hitting active. They won't know that you've got 500 PRV if you don't shout yourself out. So I don't brag when I shout myself out. I just say something like, your girl got to shout herself out. She's active. Something like that, and leave it the same way I shout out everybody else. That way they can see it. I do go live in my team page, just like any other leader probably does. And they're normally short when I'm on the way to work. And I do this a lot. If I have a bunch of people texting me, asking me the same question, I'll go live the next day and I'll be like, okay, guys, just wanted to go live and tell y'all this short 10-minute videos. I've got some people in here who are on my team page, so they see it. That's how I answer questions I get a lot. And if they text me asking me, I'm like, did you watch my live? And then I also post at least once a day my team page, just because that's what you do when you're a leader. Okay, so Stephanie asked, I've texted like this and get ignored every month. Should I still keep sending? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Because they're my front line and I don't want them to come back and say, well, my sponsor didn't reach out to me and tell me that I was doing a good job. If they don't respond, they don't respond. The Amy app literally sends it for me. I press 2 buttons and it's sent. Same with emails. I've got a girl who joined under me. She had her kit for literally 2 days and texted me, I don't think I can do this. I'm not going to be any good. I can't do this. Do I still send her team emails? Yes. Do I still follow up at the beginning of the month? Yes. She's on the list. That's my responsibility. I took the time out to sponsor her. I can take the 2 seconds it takes for me to send her a text message or click her button on the email. Will she probably ever pick up her kit again? No. Does she ghost me every time? Absolutely. That's okay. Does anybody else have any questions? I know I ran through it pretty quick. Nothing I said is elaborate. Nothing I said is hard. Now, if I do sponsor, I normally average between some months I don't have any, some months I sponsor 5 people a month. I take the time out to talk to them, because in your first 15 days, it's a lot of information. Even with an email, yes, I understand we're independent business owners, but me just taking that time out in their first 15 days and sending them a word of encouragement helps them know that I'm here if they do have any questions. And it just kind of makes them feel like they're not alone. Because I get it. It is a lot. Now, granted, I'm not going to send somebody who's been a consultant for 6 months how to put in an order on the workstation. I'm not going to do that. In their first 15 days, I do understand that I am a little bit lenient. Yes, Courtney, I heard that story. Okay. So does anybody else have any questions? I really don't have anything else. I know what I said is a little bit more involved than what Katie and Ray Ray do. But like I said, I don't have a team of 300 people. I've got a team of 30. And I don't feel overwhelmed with what I do. If I can take the time out for a month, 3 months, 6 months to recruit somebody, I can take an extra 15 days out and show them that I care and that I'm here for them. And normally after those 15 days, they don't need me as much anymore. And if they do have questions, they text me or they post in the team page. So that's pretty much all I got.
I think that was gold. If anyone has anything to say, questions, or anything, please unmute yourself.
You right the girl.
Can you unspotlight me? Thank you.
Unspotlighted you.
I don't like seeing my face that big on the screen. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
No, that was so good. I'm so happy that you came on here and told us all that. Man, okay, first of all, the 3 texts a month, let me tell you, I'm implementing that.
Well, Amy tells you to do it anyway, so.
Well, I text them 4 times a month, but they have to opt in to my frontline.
You use Hit 'em Up though, don't you? Or Project Broadcast?
Yeah, I Hit 'em Up. So like it's not to everyone. So but it's not business related per se. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like a motivational thing. Other times it's like a challenge. Sometimes it's not always business related though.
Mine are normally pretty short. So the first one is just like, hey girl, what's your goals for the month? I'm so excited. The second one's just to check in. Hey, do you need anything? Do you have any questions? And the third one is just like, the month's almost over. How you feel about it? It's not anything big or heavy or anything crazy.
I like it because you're trying to like engage with them.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't, some of them don't respond, but normally the ones who do are actively trying to work on their business, and they're the ones that I talk to more frequently anyway. And then some of the ones that don't respond, I have some people on my team who have like 600 PRV and they never want to talk to me. That's fine too. You keep doing you, boo.
Yeah.
So I had the issue with me is I was checking in on my team, and I think this is where I have to get out of my own head, because I had like, when I was doing monthly follow-ups, it was like the 3rd week of the month is usually when I would do them. And I would just check in with all my leaders and say, hey, how you guys doing? How's your team going? You know, what do you need help with? Whatever. And I swear to God, like 4 people would be like, oh girl, I'm trying to get the 500 for you. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm like, wait, what? That's not why I followed up with you. Like, that's not okay. And so I stopped doing them because I was getting so annoyed at the responses that I was getting from my leaders. I was either getting ignored or I was saying, people were saying, I'm doing the best I can for you. And I'm like, wait, I just wanted to see how you were doing. Like, are you okay? I mean,